I'm live. Good morning. Um, Welcome everybody. Not no one's here right now, but I'm sure at some point people will roll in and they will wonder like, what's wrong with Elliot? Why does he talk about this stuff or at all? And if he is that interested in that kind of thought, why does he not say it more often? Which that would be a fair question. I'm in the parking lot here at an Office Depot, waiting to pick up some materials, some supplies. So, to Jerkmonger's Morning Muse, um, I'm I'm going through this kind of like a revival. I hate to use the word revival when I talk about this. I'm going through like a renewal of thought process with my own family, my children. So I take them to school every day, and one of the things that I'm trying to do is, bring to their memory thoughts about certain Bible verses that have helped me in my life, and that it's like for me, I see it as my way of passing things on to my children, some wisdom and knowledge that they otherwise wouldn't get from the culture that we are steeped in today. And so, so one of the verses that came to my mind this week was a passage out of, and I don't always remember all the verses, and I don't always get them all right, so forgive me for that. But it's a passage out of the Old Testament called, out of a book called Second Chronicles, and I'm not going to be able to tell you much more about that than that because I didn't really study it that way. But the passage is Second Chronicles chapter 7, and the verse is 14, and the verse goes like this. This is a positive thing. This is a good thing. If my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then I will hear from heaven, forgive them their sins, and heal their land. So these are those kinds of verses that in my own times of trouble, I could I could I could refer to. I could I could lean on these type of verses. These verses that for me they're, I get now why certain Christians used to call them life verses, and you know sometimes I hate sometimes how we as Christians turn everything into like a Hallmark moment. That's not always super cool, but I can also see why it happens that way, and it's because these ideas and these words of wisdom happen to us, and we're able to rest on them in hard times, and they become our favorite passages because when things get tough, what are you trusting in? What am I trusting in? So this is not about you guys. This is about me. This is my morning me. This is what's driving me and my family and what I want to do with my kids. So just as and I'm a very layman. I have a very layman perspective on these things. So uh, don't gig me because I don't have the perfect theological context. Blah 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 blah. Frankly, if that's what you're gonna do with me, shut up. Just shut up now. Which is antithetical to what the verse says, right? So the point is, if my people, which are called by my name, would just humble themselves, and I think that's in the culture that we live in today, we have a problem with humility. So that's really the thought today. Humility. That's I'm just taking that one little chunk, that one little nugget. Humble yourself. Humility. Obviously, there's a spiritual context for that term in this passage, but the question is, how do we do that in a world where everything's kind of geared towards me? You know, what I do, what I wear, it's all about me. Me, 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 me. We have iPhones and iPads, and may as well call them me pads and me phones. Um, and it can get tough because everyone's marketing to us, and it kind of goes counter. to some of the stuff that I've been engaging in lately and some of the conversations I've had in general about how sometimes, the customer will always say the customer's right. The customer's always right. Yeah, the customer. When the customer said, when the retailer or the business says the customer's always right, that's important. When the customer says the customer's always right, that's a problem. That's because we are starting to believe our own press clippings. And so we have things like YouTube. This is for you to put on here. And in actuality, it's not for you. It's for the individual corporation that owns YouTube. And it's same thing with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all these different things that are gearing all these tools and products for you to make you happy and make you this and make you that. But as I was telling my kids, humility goes the other way. Humility says, it's not about me. It's about what I can do for you. It unfortunately, as because we're such a consumeristic culture, we we assume the position of the user. We assume the position of the consumer. We take, and we don't give. Because we don't give, we don't learn what it's like to be humble. We don't understand. We don't know what people are missing when they don't have. People that are homeless, people that are hungry, people that are naked and destitute. It's so easy to pass by someone because I don't want to deal with that person. I don't want to deal with that person. Looks like he's going to smell, or her teeth are not right, or we just come up with all these reasons why we wouldn't do something. And it's not an indictment on you guys. That's an indictment on me, right? I need to change in that way. I need to go back to how I used to see things. And if I'm going to be sincere with my kids, and I'm going to be sincere with my family, and I'm going to be sincere with you guys, I need to make this kind of adjustment in my own life and be thoughtful about the world I'm in and who I'm in the world with. So it's not just being alive, but who I'm alive with, who shares this pocket of oxygen that I exist in. So yeah, if my people, which are called by my name, if you claim to be someone who knows God and you claim to be someone that follows after Christ, you need to humble yourself. I need to humble myself. I need to pray. I need to align my thoughts with God's thoughts and try to understand his perspective and love others like he loves them, right? I mean, that's why we do what we do. Sometimes maybe people who have become parents didn't want to be parents and they took on the role by, as they say, an accident. But I don't believe that these are accidents. So if you have children, you're here for them. And they're on this planet learning how to serve by serving you. And that's just to prepare them to serve each other. Like, I love my wife, and I haven't always been good to her. And so I need to humble myself with her. That's a hard thing. It's a hard thing when you don't get along or don't have open communication. So get there. Get to that communication. Get to the place where you can be humble and live in humility. Teach your children. Show them what it looks like. Show them what it looks like to not just be a consumer, especially as we're going through this time of Halloween and into Thanksgiving time. A lot of people, I know people would probably say, oh, you should be thankful all year long. You're right. We should be thankful all year long. But just like elections, they teach us things about ourselves when you have this momentous occasion. And for us, Thanksgiving is a momentous occasion, an opportunity to formally acknowledge that we are thankful. You need to be humble. To be thankful, you got to be humble. You got to know that without the outward, there could be no inward. You know what I'm saying? Sounds crazy, right? Anyway, just my thoughts today. I thought I haven't done one of these in a while. I thought I'd share with you. It's so easy for me to kind of get caught up in politics, and the politics of comics, and the politics of Indiegogos, and the politics of blah 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 blah. Man, sometimes it's just great to just stop for a minute and just smell the roses and just remember what we're here for. And it's gonna be all right, man. We do it together. If you guys have any questions, or you can ask me, you can DM me, or you can uh, put some questions down below in the comment section. Or if you hate what I'm saying, that's cool. I get it. Listen, this isn't for everybody. It's okay. As far as I'm concerned, we're good. We're gonna be fine. But if if you care at all about this sort of thing, or if you need maybe someone to talk to about it, feel free to send me a message. And I have friends, and including myself, that we can walk you through some stuff. But listen, man, I care about you guys. I'm really grateful to all of you guys. The Black and Red campaign was very successful. I'm working on some new things. Um, I'm trying to get my commissions done for that campaign. I've got a couple of freelance things I got to wrap up. I'm taking care. Life, man, it's life, but it's going. Nolan says, I feel a lot of peeps tend to forget where they come from. That's true. So, things are moving along, and we're making progress. If you get a chance, check out bigbridgedesigns.com, and you're going to see some cool stuff there. Maybe you'll see some neat gift items for the holiday season. I don't, whatever. I'm not trying to proselytize everything every time, but it is there, and it would support myself, my business partner, and help us to produce more product like that. And as always, I appreciate all you guys, and the fact that most of you, if not all of you, have been super kind to me and super generous with your time and your funds and your energy, and that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me and my family. It means a lot to just what I'm trying to do in this world. And also, I want to thank in particular my patrons on Patreon. I know I've been slacking on delivering some of the items that I've promised. I'll make sure that we double up this month again. I don't like to do that, but